Babe. Fredericks. Jimmy Babe.
Oh God.
No, the I don't like being I don't know, man. Sometimes like especially nowadays in this it's with social media and everything, everyone's just constantly trying to capture a moment. I've noticed it more. I've noticed it more in the past year. In this year specifically, it seems like just out in the world, on the road, it's way more constant now of like people bringing up the phone, trying to have moments, trying to capture moments, trying to like, you know.
It sounds so lame when you just say it for what trying to capture moments.
That's
entirely lame.
Well, because like, think about it. I know. Guess what? We've talked about social media a decent amount past few episodes, but it's the most dominating fucking
I don't think we have
force.
Actually.
All right, let's do more. So the social media presents this idea that anyone can just have a moment and they become the hawk to a girl.
Well, it is. I guess in that sense, it's the
you know,
second iteration of the American dream.
To get
you know what I mean?
Fuck, I hate that, but you're right.
It's because that was the promise that we've all been given.
Yeah.
And then we kind of all realized that's not necessarily the case. But this is the new way to get it. Because it is that like lottery mentality that, you know.
Yeah, you're going to say the funny thing.
It's truly just the slots.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And some people are just dedicated enough to piss in bottles and keep those bottles next to them so that they don't lose their place on the slots because they have faith that if they get up and someone puts a quarter in, all their hard work will be for nothing.
Right. And I also love the idea that idea that someone steps up to the slots, someone's at the slots for too long, they don't win, they step up, and then the next person comes and wins on the first try.
Yeah.
And the person before them's like, I did all the work. It's like,
100%.
No, you didn't. It's
That's
lottery.
how it goes. That's why they piss in bottles.
I've never heard the phrase piss and ball. Oh, you mean
literally?
They don't have to go to the
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they're literally pissing so that they don't lose their place.
Dude,
I have a friend
You've seen this?
Yeah. I have a friend who lost $700 on the slots.
Okay.
And then the next day was just like, I have two choices. I can either admit that I lost $700 on the slots, or I can put $1,000 on a soccer game I know nothing about. And he just bet $1,000 that Spain would win by 1 goal, and they did. And then he ended up winning like $1,000 instead of losing $1,700. But
okay, good on him.
Yeah, but that's a wild.
Did he at any point piss in a bottle?
He wouldn't know. That's an old people thing.
If I were a casino manager and I witnessed it, you know what the law in that situation should be is if you do that and you do not win, you have to drink that bottle.
Yeah, that's not bad.
You have to drink. You could piss in as many bottles as you want, but if you do not fucking win, you have to drink all that piss.
That ups the stakes.
That's disgusting. Yeah.
You know, because now I would piss for days if it meant that I could stave off drinking it, you know.
But then
you're just in debt $20,000 and you have to drink a lot of piss.
36 hours later, and you've got about 16 liters of piss.
Yeah.
And you have to drink it.
Have you ever been in a casino at like...
You have to... Wow, dude.
At like the sad hour?
Yeah, of course.
Like the 5 a.m., like still up, trying to win whatever back.
Here's the thing about that. At any given casino at 5 a.m., it's not just people trying to win money back. It's people trying to, like, fuck. It's sex workers trying to find Johns, or vice versa. Janes. No, or also dudes you could tell just, like...
Need to
just
hide
like
in a womb.
bleary-eyed, like, I need to fuck something. I came all the way to Vegas.
Which truly is, I need to crawl into a womb and hide for a little while.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And it's the older I get, the more I realize that, like, being up after 3 a.m. is pointless.
I know.
Unless you're, you know, an early ass riser. And you're like, I'm going to get a start on the day.
Yeah.
You know, like you hear like The Rock, like wakes up at 2:30, works out till 9 p.m.
Yeah, I never wake up and I'm like,
9 a.m.
That 3 to 5 hour was exactly what I needed.
Oh, buddy.
That's never happening.
I have never stayed out. I would say of the 100th percentile of times that I've stayed out for any reason until the sun comes up, maybe only 4.5% of that time was I like, dude, fucking worth it, man.
Yeah.
Man, that was living right there, dude.
I would say, you know,
The rest of it's like, what the fuck was I doing?
we did a couple of those when we first.
That was a good time.
That was good.
That was a good
But
time.
that felt like necessary, like almost like you're coming together as kindred spirits or something.
Yeah.
But if it's like someone that you see all the goddamn time or whatever, then it's kind of like, all right, do we need this moment right now?
Yes.
It's kind of the guy that you were talking about earlier who won't let you leave the
Just
farmer's market.
Well, also, like, I guess so that to the point of people, and I do like quality of person over quantity of person for sure.
Oh yeah, of course.
I think
Give me a lot of bad people instead of
Well, like I think
who wants that?
no, but I think there are like I think it's a youth thing because
Yeah, probably.
where you're like, oh man, everyone's at this one fucking show, and you're like, but who's everyone? How many of everyone do you actually give a fuck about?
Yeah.
Versus like, oh wait, 10 people you love are doing this random ass thing.
Yeah, that's even a lot of people. 10.
8. Too many? Prime number? 7? Want to go prime number?
Yeah, go prime. Yeah.
Go prime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I even like that with audiences performance wise. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather sell 75,000 tickets to awesome people than 200,000 tickets to doofuses a year.
Yeah.
Annual. This is annual numbers, okay? Add that up over a decade. You know, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
But like, I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot, but there's 8 or 7 billion fucking people on the planet, and people keep making more people. And at this point, I'm like, dude, but there's gonna be a revolution, right?
I don't know what's gonna happen.
There has to be.
Think about how many more people.
There
and
has
how,
to be.
And like all like the way that the hurricanes are just absolutely devastating everything, and people are like, yeah, I just impregnated someone else.
Dude.
Like I'm just having way more kids. God just continues to wipe things off the planet.
Dude, I've been messaging with a friend of mine in Asheville for weeks now, and that shit is fucking psycho. Like, look, Katrina was god awful, and god awful. But the thing about New Orleans,
9/11 was worse, dude.
No, hey, listen, if we're doing tit for tat, one of them was terrorist, one of them was actually.
I'll take
God.
3 Katrinas over 9/11, bro.
Would you? Ooh, that would be a harsh decision.
I don't even know.
If
Just
you're
when
like-
people compare tragedy is funny to me.
Yeah, and one of the, oh, dude, people compare everything.
I know. That's why it's
People,
insane.
There's this weird thing that clicks in where you're like, that's unnecessary. You don't have to
Go there.
find the nearest. Well, you don't have to find the nearest like awesome thing to like someone. I mean, look, English teacher. I love it. It's awesome. Watch it. Mondays on FX, Tuesdays on Hulu. It's dope. But I had someone hit me up and they were like, dude, fuck Abbott Elementary. I'm like, why? It's just a different. They're 2 shows set in schools. Why does it matter if you can only like one show set in a school?
Yeah, one workplace comedy.
It's just like that's ridiculous. And I've also had, but like I've heard that conversation with like back in the day of like, dude, you heard Nirvana's new album? It's fucking great. Fuck Pearl Jam. And you're like, why? Because they're both from Seattle. Or why do we have to? Why is it like you find
Nirvana's way cooler than Ken Griffey Jr.
I mean, I would love it if it was people started making that kind of shit.
Yeah, that's.
Dude,
that's
you ever see the
as
Chiefs
crazy.
play? Fuck Hemingway, dude. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes, baby.
Wait, so you were talking about North Carolina though?
No, dude, it's like the New Orleans and the Gulf Coast in general. It like at least understands how to weather and then rebuild. You know what I'm saying? A hurricane. Like growing up down there, I've been through at least a fucking 9 hurricanes in my life, like big ones, and like maybe not that. No, definitely that many. And like this, it gets decimated, but it at least like can look at the shit and go, all right. I mean, Katrina was fucked, but there was a moment after it was all like, okay, we at least know how to begin this process of like this area is used to it, like, and it was still hard and shitty and terrible and took too long and it was fucked up. Don't get me wrong. I'm not all saying it's New Orleans. You just got to fucking watch it because people will take clips and be like, you're saying hurricanes should happen? No, you fucking twat. I'm saying I'm saying it's a region that at least has dealt with it before and understands what to do next. Whereas Asheville, North Carolina, was never meant to experience a hurricane, let alone get completely butt-fucked by Category 4.
Yeah.
And it's like it's awful. The whole shit's cut off from the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, no roads, no water plants. It's wild. No electricity. Give them money. Give them help. Jesus Christ. But I'm not. Also, let's,
We also, YouTube, help us spread the word about this by boosting us in your algorithm so that we can help them.
And also.
That's why we want more followers, so we can help those in need.
Exactly. That's why. We want that platform to spread the word about help.
We are philanthropic creators.
Thank you. Philanthropic, semicolon, creators.
Yes.
Well, also, the fucking where are all the crunchy land living hippies in this moment? Where they all go in Asheville?
I mean, probably on the second floor of their house.
Yeah, they're indoors.
Yeah.
It's the same thing whenever there's like a school shooting or a public shooting. I'm like, where are all you 2A fucks? All you open carry fucks. Where the fuck are you when the shit goes down?
Yeah,
You're never there when the shit goes down. Maybe 1 out of every 15 shootings, there's like a guy, an old man eating a hot dog.
But then they'll be like, if I was there.
Oh, yeah, if I was there, that guy never. It's like, well, then where?
I love Mark Wahlberg's. Like, if I was none of that would have happened on 9/11 if I was on that plane.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever hear him talk about that?
Yeah, like, because they killed the pilots, didn't they? Before, so they could, I don't know.
I think they definitely swore at him a little bit.
They
definitely roughed them up. Took their lunch money.
Sorry. The only fucking way 9/11 wouldn't have happened if Mark Wahlberg was on a plane is if, like, the head terrorist suddenly was like, no fucking way, Marky Mark. Marky Mark Funky Bunch. Huh? And instead of being a cunt about it, Marky Mark was immediately like, yeah, that's me. And did the whole, yo, it's about that time to break forth the rhythm and the rhyme.
I love that the terrorist is a Marky Mark fan, not like a, Good Will Hunting fan or. He wasn't in that.
He wasn't in that.
I get all the fucking Boston guys mixed up in my head.
In 2001, he was not that established of an actor yet.
I'm an idiot.
Okay, Boogie Nights, man, great film. I mean, he would have been.
Was that real?
Yeah. Show me the cock. Show me the cock.
Was that real?
It's the only way. I guess, yeah, you're right. I guess he had a few.
That's pretty, that would be really kind of an eternal flex if, like, there was a terrorist thing, but then you were there and the guy couldn't go through with it because you're so famous.
You're such a fan of your work.
He was such a fan.
He's like, these people need to die, but not you.
Right, so we're gonna safely land it.
But you put me in next to your song, huh?
Handshake deal?
Or on the movie. Put me in the movie, huh? Allah Akbar.
Why? Wait, he could have been from anywhere.
No, I'm just, no, I am. I'm not from, I'm from Bosnia. I'm just saying what you expect me to say.
Yes.
I am a global terrorist of any denomination.
Oh, God. Sometimes we'll be doing this. I'm like, can we use this?
I mean,
is this usable?
I don't think it matters. At this point, anyone listening to a podcast who doesn't understand that 94% of it is pure fucking drivel and is not
good drivel, though.
Not meant to, for any other purpose than just to pass time to the listener and inspire them in certain ways to be better people.
Sure.
Shouldn't be listening to the podcast.
Yeah, I've never been a big fan of like the moral high ground plus show business. Like that's always felt very false. And not that this is show business, but you know what I mean. Like any kind of entertainment where it's like, well, we're truly at the Oscars to spread awareness about Ethiopia's crisis regarding. I'm like, are you really, or are you just kind of getting to be a good person on top of being famous?
Yeah, I mean, did you? Yeah, did you become?
There's no way this is self-serving at all that I'm posing in
yeah.
X magazine to promote awareness of my sweet new slacks plus whatever tragedy.
Well, also, yeah, just like the fame is more important.
Yeah.
Like if you were if you told like if it was well known in Hollywood, or just let's use that for example, at any award show, it's like, hey, if you start going into anything that's not a thank you speech, we cut the feed. So we do, and that's that, and we take your award back. If you plug anything, you take the shit back. How many people?
Dude, how funny would it be if someone getting an Oscar be like, also, please check out my podcast, Best Guys on YouTube.
Soon. That's very soon, I guarantee.
Yo, I mean, you know.
You're going to win an Oscar pretty soon, bud. It's going to be you.
Yo, seriously, we're at like 900 subscribers right now.
When your dad writes that book and you turn it into a screenplay and get best adapted screenplay.
I don't even know
called My Fucking Dad.
Dude,
the first ever screenplay title and movie title with an actual swear word in it that wins an Oscar.
Yeah, he
Donahue, the Donahue story. Donahue Dollies.
He told me his nickname in high school
Donahue Doldrums
was Meat.
Your dad's nickname was Meat?
That's what he said. He said his nickname in high school was Meat.
Christ, dude, why? I can't wait.
Because just according to him, it's because he had a hog on him. I don't know to what extent this is a joke. Like he would say he has a low give a shit factor. That's what he would call his mentality.
Meat. That also means like, was it a big dick or was it just like, did it look like a thing of ground beef?
Yeah, I have it because you see your father's penis when you're young, and so
but you don't. You don't analyze.
No, it's just bigger than anything that you could have at that time, and then later you become a man, and you're like, was that to scale now, or was it only big because he was big and I was small? You know what I'm saying?
One and only memory I have of ever seeing my dad's fucking dong. The one and only memory I ever have of ever seeing my fucking dad's unit, his cock. When I was young, I'm guessing 4-ish. My parents also had me when they were pretty young, so. But I do remember walking to their bedroom and walking in, and you know those fucking, like, I don't even know what you call them, but like it's a thing you get out of like a fair thing on a stick. It's a dinosaur head.
Yes.
And you squeeze the trigger and
yes.
it closes.
I used to like those.
I just remember my dad standing there in a robe, my mom on the bed laughing, and my dad just going just grabbing at his own dick with the Tyrannosaurus Rex head going and going and then seeing me and throwing it down and be like, what? And turn the wub, Sean. And
That's great.
A crying kid. That's my only memory.
Dude, that's exactly how you want to see your dad's dong. He's just being hilarious. Like, it was part of a stage play. He's doing Godzilla versus, Bald Man.
And he fucking...
That's fantastic.
And then I remember him coming over and being like, wow, what's wrong, buddy? And then they took me back to
the
bed.
open robe, too.
Open robe.
I have this fantasy...
I'm an open robe guy.
I have
in
this...
my apartment.
I have this, like, fantasy character that I would always like to do something with called Robe Man, where he's a superhero, but he always has his robe out, so his dong is just out whenever he's flying over to, like, save the town.
So people have to see it.
Yeah, people are like, oh God, thank you, but fucking Robe Man, Jesus Christ,
Well, I think I did it. I mentioned at a stand-up.
So you kind of are Robe Man, and your dad was Robe Man too.
I mean, dude, I am king of the, like, I don't sleep naked all of the time, but most of the time.
Yeah.
And I am king of just throw the robe on, fucking walk around the apartment, and then be like, all right, time to put shit on. But I'm also never, and I
that was probably your toy that your dad was doing that with too, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think it was around next time I played with toys.
Yeah, he was like, this must be burned.
I feel like my parents probably still have it.
It's like their kinky.
They get out the T-Rex and just go to town.
They got a dino kink at the house.
Oh no, I'm a little dinosaur. Oh God. Wait a second. Did I just? Was that my mom I was just doing? Or my dad's doing his dick getting bitten off?
Yeah, your dad was doing.
Please help me. Please hold on.
She's like, oh, Mr. Patton.
Yeah.
I don't know his name.
That's my mom.
What's your dad's name?
That's it. I love
Mr. Patton with your crazy dong and the way that it gets bit.
He never told me his name. I had to call him Mr. Patton our whole life together. That's my mom.
Dude, I mean, I feel like that, obviously that's a far cry, but like my example of like the way that people would get married, like before they really knew each other.
Yeah.
My
Oh God, yeah.
my grandpa and
Still
my
happens.
grandma, like he proposed to her when I think he was like probably 26 and she was like 17, 18.
Word.
And
Damn.
and she said yes, and then he was like, by the way, I got 2 kids.
After she said yes.
And then she was like, okay. And then she like raised like a 8 and 9-year-old like little hellions at the age of like 18 years old.
Long have they been together, you think?
Probably not super long.
Like 2 dates?
Yeah, probably. And also, this was back at a time when you could, like, what was known as pursuing women was just calling her until she finally gave in and said yes. Like, it was seen as romantic to be, like, persistent to the point where, like, she's like, okay, apparently he's going to never leave me alone if I don't say yes. Like, that was, like, how you, like, show a girl you care. And these days, that would be harassment.
Oh, yeah. I'm also probably women were probably taught to, like, if you like a guy, don't let him know. Make him earn it.
Yeah, sure.
It was 2 very toxic ways of raising the youth. I mean, I get it. The persistent one's a little more toxic, but, you know.
Yeah. Well, this is the time during a time when like Clint Eastwood movies. Have you seen like an old Western lately? It's like very odd the way that they handle like romance. Like Clint Eastwood will just be like, he'll just like go up to some chick and like throw her against the wall and then just start making out with her and she like fights him off her and then he's like grabs her and then she fights him again, like telling him no, and then he grabs her again and then they start having sex and she like decides she fucking loves it.
Right.
And it's like, oh, okay.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah,
you know what
like,
I mean? It's like,
yeah.
She couldn't admit that she wanted it. And it's like, no, that you're raping a lady.
Yeah, you're actually, you've crossed.
You're
4 to
raping
5
a lady
lines.
and getting an Oscar.
Jesus.
Is what's happening.
In the same, what the fuck?
Like the 50, like think about like being a dude in the 50. You just could do no wrong. I mean,
yeah. And yeah, no, totally. And then like they grow up being like, hey, she's gonna say no 4 or 5 times.
Right.
You gotta just push through. It's
yeah,
like,
you just gotta wait outside of her house.
Yeah.
Don't take no for an answer.
Yeah,
Call her on speed dial at all times. Show up at her work so she knows you care.
Yeah. And when when the manager comes out and says she doesn't want to see you, of course she's gonna do that.
Right, that's her.
You
playing
punch
hard
that guy
to get.
in the face.
She's playing games.
Exactly.
They're conniving.
You hit that
Don't
guy.
you get it?
Prove you're a man.
Prove you're a man.
Prove you're a man.
Hit him.
Yeah.
Burn the place down. Save her from the burning building. Now
Prove
you're
a man and a hero.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the thing. The man she sends out to stop you from continuing to go at her is the man she needs to see that you can defeat.
Right, like
a
whether
final
it's her
boss.
father. Exactly.
If it's a father, brother.
Otherwise, you're going to be second billing to daddy your whole life, and you don't want that.
Doesn't matter what she does.
You got to kill her dad.
You have to.
If you want her to love you.
In fact, every man in her life.
You got to kill everybody
just
that
to
she
prove
knows.
that you are the alpha.
Until she's
Women
alone.
are in
And depends
alphas,
on
bro.
you for sustenance.
Oh, exactly. That's why you kidnap her.
Right.
You take her away from the life of just mundane bullshit, a bunch of betas.
That's how you prove you're exciting.
Prove you're a man. Take her away from her
and
life.
then save her from you.
Exactly. How do you do that? Murder, suicide. Right? Dude. Yeah, you're right. That is really fucked up, actually.
It's really
when you break it down, it's like, damn, dude.
I do really like that as advice. Like, all right, but just know that if the business thing doesn't work out, you can always murder suicide.
You always do.
You can always do that.
Just like start a new business called The Worst Advice Possible.
Yeah, well,
for any given situation.
Truly anyone from another era trying to give someone advice in this era is going to sound completely insane on that. At least when it comes to like gender.
Except for people who probably came up at like the 40s or something, like, hey, work hard and care about your neighbor.
Yeah,
like,
but
fuck
even
you.
even
fuck
that
you.
even that is irrelevant.
I mean, Jesus Christ, dude.
You know, like my grandma worked at McDonald's for like 20 something years. She got a Golden Spatula Award. Like, I'm very proud of her. But like now,
same
that's
grandma that said yes, and then
yes,
found out she was a mother of 2.
Yes,
stepmother of 2.
Right.
Here's the thing about like,
but you can't make a living that way, you know.
But I can understand how people get married super young, because everyone has there's sometimes that situation when you're dating someone where like 3rd, 4th hang where you're like, I could see myself with this person forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it's good, if it's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it usually gets to like the 9th or 10th hang where you're like, oh wait, never mind. Or other way around where you're like, no, let's keep doing this.
Yeah.
But I can understand how at a time, I'm talking centuries ago where it was like 3 encounters
and I'm yours.
and we're still together.
He
we
bought
still
me a
smile.
root beer, and he held the door for me and apologized for punching me in the face.
And which he only did because I had food on my mouth that I did not wipe off.
It was my fault.
And it was my fault.
It was
disgusting to him.
I disgusted him.
Jesus Christ. Punching. Yeah, there was dude, look at that shit. Like, you watch movies like The Princess Bride.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a great movie.
And I haven't seen it, but do tell me what you mean.
You've never seen it?
No, but you don't have to tell me the whole movie. Just tell me the part you're talking about.
We can't do it. Can't do it. Takes the whole thing out of context. You've never seen The Princess Bride?
No, but what's the point you're making?
Can't do it.
Can't
I
do
have
it.
to find another movie. Fuck.
I think I'll understand the concept of.
Yeah, I know, but no, you need to understand. No, because it's one of those movies.
Nope.
There are a few movies like this. There aren't that many movies like this that I don't think it matters what age you see it. It like cements itself to you.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like
Braveheart did that for me.
Braveheart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you know how.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the one. Forbidden Love in there, you know.
Well, you know how the guy
William Wallace.
No, before one of his homies marries the girl, and then the guy comes from on high, and he's like, "It is my duty to bang your wife." And then, I'm serious.
Yeah, I know. You're saying it funny.
That's what it was. It's my duty as warden of this village.
No, I do know exactly what you're talking about.
To deflower thy bride.
Right. And
how is that even then not looked at as a law of like, come on, you horny fucking fuckers.
Crazy psychopath.
That's really, you get the fuck out of.
Well, it's ownership. No. It's just the idea of like the closer you get to,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but like the stuff that would be passed, like that would pass as normal in the 50s,
Yeah.
I shudder to think what it would be like to be a. Because that was seen as like the golden age or whatever. It's like how for
the 50s?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called, the golden era or something.
I mean, no, dude, that was no, because that was.
There was never a time when things were good for everybody.
It's, if you could take like today's sort of acceptance of like, even though it's not at all anything near perfect,
better than it was ever.
Better than it was, but the sort of acceptance of like others.
Yeah.
Of marginalized groups.
Other isms.
Like, just, and then, but apply it to like the sort of like, pride of America 70 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. What that looked like.
But then there's so much of it that's built on bullshit and lies and fucking over other people in other countries and all this shit. But it's like, I don't know. It's like
Well, that's how folklore works in general.
Yeah.
Though. Like I have a joke about this, but it's a pretty good example of it where it's like, my cousin, like we were just raised on like tough dude stories, And my uncle allegedly, and swears by to this day, dented a gas tank with his testicles in a motorcycle accident.
Dented a gas tank with his big iron balls?
Exactly.
Was
with those things that your dad was chomping on with the dinosaur toy.
With them iron balls. Wait, so you got one uncle that claims he's got balls of lead, and your dad claims he's got a straight up fucking cartilage pony.
Perfectly said. Yeah.
That's just in your bloodline.
Yeah, that's just kind of the.
And you're just walking around with that in your DNA.
Dude, my family is like the O'Doyles from Billy Madison. Like that. At least like on my dad's side, like it's all just like tough dude stuff like that. Yeah, they like really love that kind of shit. And I think the reason that I always was like, because I had this pacemaker, so I'm like, well, I'm not gonna be one of these tough dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So
last time I fucking saw you were about to get that thing replaced.
Yeah, I just got a new one.
You get to keep the battery?
I do. Yeah, I almost brought it with me.
Can we auction it off?
I think we can. Yeah, we need more subscribers, but yes, I have 2 of them. So I have one from 15 to 24, and then one from 24 to 33.
How big is it?
The new one?
How big are the old ones?
They're like that big.
Damn.
I would say the size, bigger
Can we
than.
make like jewelry out of them?
That's what I was thinking. Is if like dude, that would be the kind of the way to do it. Is like ice it out and put it on a chain.
Yeah, dude.
I know that would be cool.
That kind of be.
You know how they used to wear like the shrunken heads of their enemies
Yeah.
in like tribal days? Like if I just had like 6 or 7 like
just pacemaker, dude, I highly make one, or just like all like one's a chain, one's a belt buckle. Got a belt buckle, that bad boy.
Oh, a belt buckle would be kind of fly.
Belt buckle's fine. One's a watch, if you can make one into a watch.
That's not bad,
right? And then one's a fucking eye patch. Or, yeah,
dude. They keep all the heartbeats I've ever had stay logged in them. They're little computers that have that data inside of them. So it's like, well, for the 9 years that they're inside of me.
Holy shit! Dude.
I know. It's pretty fucking wild stuff. That's why, like, when I was young, like, it would be embarrassing because my mom would come with me to the doctor's office and the guy would be like, well, everything's pretty good, but I'm noticing your heart rate is abnormally high around 2 a.m. for 4 minutes.
Oh, because I'm just beating off wildly?
Yeah.
In the bathroom?
Wildly beating off.
4 minutes?
I don't know, whatever it was.
Wow, he's fucking stretching.
You were stretching it? You're an edger?
See, you're just straight up banging yourself. You're just dumping yourself.
Well,
I make love.
Look, I'm busting
15.
nuts. You're blowing loads. It's
exactly.
Just, yeah. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's a different situation.
It takes a little longer to blow a load.
Right.
It takes a little more finesse, a little more time with yourself.
Right,
A
yeah.
little more understanding. Whereas bust nuts is we can do this.
Yeah, it's just
Quick.
kind of like... Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah, someone...
4 minutes. Mom's awake.
You know what, though? I think that happens when you share a room.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I shared a room my whole childhood, so I never, I didn't have the... Like, by the time I'm jerking off, I don't have the luxury of blowing loads. I got to get in there, bust a nut, and get out because someone might come home.
Well, speaking of... I think I've told you this before, but when I first moved here in 2007 in New York, I shared a bedroom for like the first 9 months. Well, actually for the first year and a half, 2 different apartments. But the first apartment, me and another comic, who I'll spare him. I won't say his name. We'll put it here. All right. He, buddy of mine, we lived in the same bedroom. That shit cut down on rent, In Brooklyn, we're both broke as fuck. It's terrible. But there was one night where I was like convinced I was having a heart attack. Convinced. Because I felt like tingling in my shoulder and like and I had a heart murmur as a kid, and I've always had like a very
the tingling in the shoulder is scary.
Yeah, and I've always had like a very anxious like attention paid to my heart.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh god. And I was like late 20s, but I was still like, oh fuck, and I started being like, is that a chest pain? Is that a chest pain? And it's like midnight, and he's on his computer, and I'm trying to fall asleep, and I'm like, nah, dude, I'm having a heart attack. I gotta go to the emergency. I'm like, hey man. I'm pretty sure I'm having a heart attack right now. Something's wrong. He's like, wait, really? Really? What? And he like asked me a few questions about like, and I'm like, no, I feel tingling, and I'm like, I swear to God, it's palpitations, man. Fuck. I'm like, I'm going to the emergency room right now. And he goes, do you want me to come with you? And I go, and before I can answer, he goes, man, you should probably go alone. He's like, seriously, he's like, dude, I'm not dressed or nothing. Like, go, you should just go. Like, just go. He's like, it's like 2 blocks, dude. Just like, call me if you're freaking out or anything, but go. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I got to get down there. And it was in Bushwick. I got down to the Wyckoff Medical Center, went into the emergency room, was straight up like, I think I'm having a heart attack. They immediately, like, and weren't many people in there. It was like, like I said, it was later.
Yeah, you cut like an old lady who.
Yeah. And they put me in. They give me an EKG.
They kicked her down the stairs. They're like,
get
out.
the fuck out of here.
This guy's in pain.
This guy's
is in pain.
He's gonna have a podcast one day.
Yeah, you've seen better days. All right, so
but the doctor gives me the EKG, and he comes over, and afterwards he's like, yeah, your EKG's. He's got a bunch of medical students with him too. He's like, your EKG is completely normal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. And he looks at it, he's like, normal, and they're all like, yeah, very normal. And then basically he's just like, it sounds to me like you just had some sort of anxiety attack. And I'm like, but I've had those before. He's like, well, they manifest in different ways. And maybe you became resilient to one kind, so your brain figured out another way to scare you, but you're fine. And I went back to the apartment, and roommate was asleep. And later he would tell me drunkenly that he needed to jerk off so bad. Because we lived in this apartment. It was 2 of us in one room, and then 2 other roommates in 2 different bedrooms, one bathroom, And it was just like you couldn't jerk off in the bathroom. It was too risky that someone would just be like,
dude, he was like, literally go die so I can beat off.
He was like, and he apologized profusely. He was like, dude, I'm so sorry. I should have walked with you. But like, dude, it'd been so long, dude. I was like, I sort of kind of understand.
Like, his biological imperative was so strong that your biological tragedy was not important.
So but I told him that. I was like, that
so you could have died and he could have, like.
He could have been busting that so well needed nut the moment I dropped lifeless to the ground.
Yeah.
A life is given as one ends. Could have been that. It could have been a circle of life moment.
It could have been.
But I was resilient and stayed alive. And to shame him on this in this podcast.
And he busted into a toilet instead of a lady.
His name again. Exactly. No, I think probably into a sock. I imagine
a sock
because he was in our room.
Oh,
it was in our shared sleeping space.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
I also, dude. I don't
sharing a space with another guy.
That was 2 different apartments too.
Yeah,
it was like, and I will say this. I do ultimately believe it. I mean, we're still buddies, but it dampened our friendship.
Yeah.
It definitely like changed. Like we were really close when we moved here.
That's a crazy.
And we were kind of close by the time it ended.
I've never needed to jerk off so bad that someone needed to die alone so that I could bust.
Man, some people. That's what I'm saying, dude. Some people need to fucking come. I think others, not so much.
Others would like to.
Others would enjoy.
Right. It would be nice, but some people, yeah.
You know.
I mean, that one's that's interesting. That is interesting. Have you ever seen? Well, no, it doesn't matter. But it is like one of those moments, like that movie. I think it's called Avalanche, where like a guy runs away when his family is near an avalanche, and he thinks that it's gonna take them all. So he leaves his family flat. Then the avalanche doesn't hit them, and he has to come back and be like, "Whoops, my bad, everybody."
Oh, I thought you meant that the avalanche was coming, and he thought it was coming at them, and he ran another way, but it was actually going the way he was running.
Oh no,
that would be actually better for him.
Yeah.
Than having to go back and be like, no, I was going to get help.
But it is one of those.
I was just going to get help.
But it's like an ultimate turning point in a friendship where you're oh, okay, I fully see where, dude, I had that happen one time. One time I was with, you know what I mean?
But I also don't think this was avalanche running from a family territory.
No, I guess not. No.
I think it was just like horny 20-year-old dude being like, or mid-20s being like, I got to come. Sean's fine. He's not having a heart attack. He freaks out all the time.
He's probably,
He's a fucking idiot. He's having anxiety attacks. He's a pussy. Let him go learn that on his own. Speaking of pussy, I think it was more of that. I think it was more of that.
That's a wild. I had a friend. He owed me $80.
Dude.
Okay, this is back in high school.
Did you collect on that yet, bro?
Listen to this. So we go to the ATM just on some separate, not to get me money. We're in a car full of people. We're going out. He goes to the ATM. He gets $100, orders $100, a $20 bill, $20 bill, $20 bill, $20 bill, and $100 bill come out. He checks the receipt. It only registered as $100 coming out of his account. He got a free $80. He owed me $80. And he did not pay me that $80 in that moment.
Why?
Because he didn't want to.
But like the rules.
I know.
The rules of
That's exactly how
money.
I felt. But the rules. Yeah, that's how I felt too.
But the rules.
Exactly.
Of free money.
That was like for me, I was like, okay, I see. Yeah.
I mean, dude, you want to know fucking like
yeah.
I don't know if this is true. But it's one of the things we knew a guy who was a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Who growing up used to drive, was the guy who drove everyone.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like the guy was always like, I'm driving.
Yeah.
Like I'm driving.
Right.
He wasn't a piece of shit. He was just like a damaged soul.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? Like it one of those things where like in the moment you were like, God, he's so fucking annoying. But when you look back, it was like, yeah, every single moment of his life was a cry for help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I totally, yes.
Yeah. And there was just one night where he was super pilled the fuck out, right? And he had issues with pills.
Yeah.
And he tried to drive, and someone else was like, nope. Like took his keys from him. Like, you are not getting behind the wheel of a fucking car.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a shit what you do. Just do not. You're not getting behind the wheel of a car. and he was pilled out and would have died. He would have fucking, you know what I mean?
100%.
But instead of driving and dying, he instead just ran into another person he knows who had pills and ended up ODing that night. So it was one of these like dichotomies of like, if he would have gotten in the car, there was a chance he could have maybe have driven all the way home, not fucking killed anyone, not killed himself, and gotten inside and just passed the fuck out. There's a chance.
That almost sounds like being possessed by a demon.
Yeah, where you're just gonna like,
where it's like it's gonna end tonight.
Yeah, exactly. But so it's like one of those like, fuck, you never know. Like, guy like the dude who took his keys from him was like broken for years, and we're like, dude, actually, no, you 1,000% did the right thing.
Yeah, that's tough.
There's 1,000% you did the right thing, but like, no one could have known possibly that he would see this other person who he fucking knew who had a shitload of Vicodin or whatever it was that he OD'd on. I think it was Oxy, which is, I think, everyone's favorite thing to OD. I think Oxy's like, if you're going to OD, Oxy's the way to go.
Yeah.
This is part of the bad advice
that does make
business.
Yeah. That does make me wonder about, like, fate, you know?
Oh, dude, it's all coincidence.
Like, was it, yeah, you think it's all coincidence?
Coincidence is the most powerful force in existence. It is what made man invent God in the first place. Because sometimes things are
or God invent man.
Oh, bro, looks at how you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But I'm saying, I get it. Like, sometimes two things just collide in such a way where you're like, there's no way that wasn't divine. But then if you just take a step back and look at it, you're like, well, no, because that happened, but then everything else is still just random and fucked up and crazy, and you have to factor that in too. But it's like, yeah, but that's coincidence. It's such a powerful thing.
Right, but
that
okay,
it makes you have to believe.
But that guy driving versus that guy finding those, it was like one way or another that looked like that was gonna become a bad.
Like that guy was good. But that's the thing. Like, yeah, exactly. There is also a chance he runs into the dude. Let's just say they were with oxys, and he only had 2 oxys instead of 5.
Right.
And he doesn't OD. And he doesn't OD. So it's like, yes, there's a chance on both sides that he survives. But yes, you're right. It was like
that seems like
yeah.
a
It's like a
yeah. I think about that all the time because I have, like, you know, the pacemaker thing, and like that's been on my mind since getting the new one because I'm like, all right, I'm very aware
right
that this is a thing,
a robot, a little robot in your chest.
Yeah, and so I'm like,
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah,
what the fuck? Wait, hold on. Why is my Fitbit going? Oh, dude. This podcast was 10,000 steps. No,
oh, hell yeah.
No, sometimes this shit, speaking of heartbeats,
yeah,
just this Fitbit, I recommend them. They're fun. But sometimes it takes like this. I just did this. Mm-hmm. It starts counting those as footsteps, which I guess technically it's still movement.
Right.
You know, but anyway, so go ahead. Pacemaker.
Oh, yeah, no, just the idea of, like how much control you really have. Because it's that thing of, like, my grandpa ate McDonald's every day for 80 years or whatever it was, and lived beyond the life expectancy for a human male.
And tricked some woman into becoming stepmother to
that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, a guy who eats apples exclusively and runs 5 miles every day will drop dead at 38. And it just like,
because
why?
One of those apples has like pesticides in it that fucking make your heart stop.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what is the chaotic nature of all of it is just kind of weirdly comforting.
Right. But it's comforting, but then also, like, I think the thing, sometimes as humans, we see, like, the one example of something and go, Jesus, look at that. That's everything now. Where you're like, you got to stop sometimes and go, wait, hold on. Yeah, you're right. That did happen. Now look at all the times the guy who eats McDonald's for 3 years, her heart explodes one day on the way to his 3rd meal.
Why are you pointing at me when you say that?
I'm just because I want you to hear me.
I'm just kidding.
Because I don't want you don't eat McDonald's, do you?
I ate it yesterday.
Yeah, me too.
Did you?
Yeah, yesterday?
Yeah, I swear to God.
Totally.
I don't eat it a lot, but yeah.
Totally did. No, not yesterday. Wait, what's that? No. So when I got back into New York like 2 days ago.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna admit it, like,
dude, occasionally
just nuggets
really hits the spot.
Just airport nuggets.
Oh my God, yeah. Traveling plus shit food is pretty fantastic, I will say.
Sometimes you need the shit food to distract. It's why it exists, to distract you from traveling.
Dude, remember how egregious McDonald's was getting with the prices for a little while. They just dialed it back and created the value menu again.
Oh, yeah.
But like for a minute there, it was like, I'm talking like I have a photo of a Big Mac costing $18 at like at a Connecticut rest stop along the highway. And I'm like, you guys are out of your gourd to charge more than a restaurant for this nonsense.
I mean, we were just, speaking of that, so I was just in Bentonville, Arkansas for the Big Diamond Comedy Fest. Good time. Right, look to camera for that one. Hanging out with some funny people. Tim Smith, Jeff Asmus. Fun Canadian was there, but I missed him on that day. Zayed Devji, Sam Talent. Fun guys. Lace Larrabee. Anyway, point being.
You just mind breaks and you just keep naming people.
Just can't stop naming people. Fred Jackson, former running back.
But something was expensive.
Steve Young, quarterback. No, so Bentonville, Arkansas is basically an entire city created by the Waltons of Walmart.
Oh, wow.
Of Walmart.
Fame.
Billions.
Right.
And it's basically just like a town. I'm pretty sure that the ground children were like, we're just going to build our own. We're just going to build our own town because we want one. And it's like, it's got some cool shit, but all of it has this very like
Walmart vibe.
No, this very like Stepford Wife, like Truman Show-esque, like even like there's a lot of young people in that town. I met like their first night of shows. We met like a group of people who were all like 24 and like diverse. It wasn't just a bunch of like white dudes in khakis. It was like two of those and then like a few Asian kids, black dude, women, openly gay guy. It was like a group sent by Central Casting.
Got it.
Like, look at this diverse group of 24-year-olds.
Right.
Of youth.
Just trying to figure it out in Benton.
Right. But Bentonville.
But
they all work for Walmart. All of them. And all of them were like, yeah, but it's, and you'd make jokes. Like one comic, I think it's this comic, Nathan Lund. I think it was Nathan Lund. He said this joke on stage. It was funny. He's like, so that's what Walmart does. Spends decades destroying other small towns so they could take the money and build a perfect version of all the towns they've destroyed.
Right.
Which is like, oh, it was funny. But even they'd laugh at the jokes. They wouldn't get defensive. But they were also just like, yeah, but it's, we're happy. And because Walmart probably pays them all six figures at 24 when you're like, and all of them probably have degrees but didn't get the perfect job and got recruited because they were all from like, I went to Arkansas State, and some of them like, I went to Arizona State, or like they all came from.
But they all ended up at the sweet, lovely embrace of Walmart.
Right. And like, they all live in this town. They all probably make money, and it's got biking trails, and it's very, it's got like the cool punk bar, and then like the barbecue joint where everyone's got latex gloves, which grosses me out, by the way.
What?
My throat. It makes my throat dry.
Latex gloves near barbecue?
I don't. It just like, wear the clear ones again. My throat. I'm choking up.
Are you?
No, it's just. I think.
You crying about barbecue?
I think I swallowed that fucking bug that was flying around.
Did you really?
I think so.
Wow.
No, but like, I don't know why.
I think you got emotional about barbecue.
Yeah, because I'm just that fucking. I think I was just talking too much.
Do you want a sip of coffee?
No, I'm good. But I don't like the black latex gloves near. It's just like, it's like murder gloves. It's like cop scene, crime scene gloves. Just wear the clear ones again. That's food. That's food gloves. Anyway.
Yeah.
They don't look as cool, but whatever. But there's an art gallery in Bentonville that's all the like art owned by the Walton family, and apparently there's like Monets and shit.
Jesus.
I didn't go in there. I didn't go see it, but it was one of these really.
That would be an amazing building to burn down.
Yeah.
Like the Walmart People's Art Museum.
There's also the Walmart Museum, and there's a
Walmart Museum. Is it just Walmart? What the fuck are we looking at in Walmart Museum?
It's basically pictures of all the small towns it's taken down, I bet.
Geez, yeah.
But also, I went...
What is there? Yeah, you would need the museum for what Walmart replaced. Not Walmart.
But like it's simple. People don't realize it. The model is simple. They can put everybody out of business because they're so big. They can... This goes to your Burger King or McDonald's point. They can just charge a third of what everybody else charges.
No, it's truly the model of Walmart is like, what if Amazon existed in physical
in
space?
real life. Yeah. Or flip it, and Amazon's like, what if Walmart came to you?
Yeah, right. That is 100% it. Yeah, and Bezos was just,
Well, that's why. This is also why every fucking moron out there who thinks that it's okay for billionaires to exist thinks that way because they think if they can exist and be billionaires, then I too one day can be a billionaire.
No, you really won't.
Coming from fucking the middle of Fort Wayne, Indiana, with no money or connections in politics.
All I gotta do is go viral.
All I gotta do is go viral, and
a few 100,000 times.
There you go.
And I too can sell pants.
The lottery. You know what?
I too can sell bins and plants and Bisquick.
And if you try, you should have to drink whatever version of the bottle of piss you've been pissing in.
Also, like Walmart, it's just like it's a store that has no identity.
No.
No,
it's just
it was just like the
identity is cheap.
It's everything.
Cheap at everything.
Everything that you could possibly think of is somehow here.
Yeah. It's like you don't, in fact, everything you can't think of either, because we don't want you to think.
I can't think
we just want you to buy.
So that's the hometown of Walmart. That's where you were?
Is.
Like they're, where they breed, the Walmart people breed there? Like the most Walmart sex is being had in Bentonville, Arkansas?
Yeah.
Like there's Walmart babies and Walmart blowjobs and...
There's people walk. I mean, there's...
Do you think that the prostitutes charge Walmart prices?
There's definitely not prostitutes. There's definitely not even crime there, because there are heavily armed SWAT team looking cops everywhere.
Really?
Everywhere. There's no crime in that.
To keep it safe, or because it's dangerous?
To keep it safe from the Target people.
Yeah. To
keep it safe from those
from Kmart, which actually they did consume Kmart, I believe.
There you go.
Walmart. Who were the Ks?
What if the whole time it was the KKK Mart, and they're like, we just got dropped to a case?
Yeah, I mean,
and
like
Kmart was
the
just
Walmart family, because I never really considered that this would be a family that like is reigning.
The Waltons, yeah.
Yeah. So then who the K people? That family got swallowed by the Waltons.
Well, it used to be Quick Mart, WIK.
Okay.
I made that up. I don't know.
Oh, really?
I fucking feel. I have no clue. Chad would fucking show up. He could Google this for us.
Yeah, we still need to get a Chad.
Yeah, well, Chad will be here one day.
One day.
K stands for it's the K. I think that's what it really is. K.
K. We'll just succumb to Walmart.
It's K.
K.
I mean, dude, the last Kmart I ever saw, which I don't think is there anymore, was Union Square, New York.
Quite the location.
I think that was the last one. Put it right in the middle of everything, and people will pretend like they don't go there.
Yeah, I had one in the sweet, sweet town of Putnam, Connecticut, over by my dad's house. There was a Kmart there. And it's definitely not there anymore, though. The Waltons.
Connecticut should be spelt with a K. It's so trashy.
It's but there's really rich. Connecticut's probably got the biggest diaspora of
I refer to it as the Mississippi of New England.
Wait, what?
I call Connecticut the Mississippi of New England.
Yeah, but there's like
very
incredibly rich. Oh, is there?
Oh yeah, there's big money in Mississippi.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
It's just all
fuck. It's just there's only 15 people in the whole fucking state.
Right.
So and 13 of them were poor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's that's how it is.
Yeah. Where's the big money in Mississippi?
That I don't know, but it definitely is through like Oxford, Mississippi, where Ole Miss is. That's money. It's politics for sure. And a lot of I bet, I don't know off the top of my head. I'm not Mr. Researched here. So, I know. What am I doing? But you don't know everything? You're on a podcast. You're hosting a podcast and you don't know every single fact? Well, then bullshit. This is bullshit.
I do.
Every other podcaster's 100% correct about everything all the time.
I like that you can invent people to yell at and then talk back. Like you could just create an entire.
Do you not do this?
I do it, but it's
in the shower.
Yeah,
every day.
Yeah, I do actually.
Or on walks when you have headphones in.
Mine looks a little bit more like me just going, oh, fuck. You know, I just like remember making an ass of myself.
That'd be fucking hilarious to have shower cams and you see like one person's shower arguments are just like, no, no, no. I said I didn't want to go, but you had to be there. And what happens? We missed out on the time of our life. And then another person's shower arguments of them just going, no, you're right. You're right. No, you're right.
And then I have like a Tourette's thing. I'll just be like,
no, shit, no, it's okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, that's
The
like
other side.
That sounds more like a bath person. A bath person's more like it's okay.
They're just in there apologizing.
Bath people are consoling themselves. They have more empathy with their. That's a shower argument, but that's a shower conversation.
Shower's more about getting it out.
Bath
is more about accepting it.
Acceptance. We need more baths.
People, God damn it, man! Society needs to take more baths.
I feel like we could all benefit from some baths.
God damn, I love it when we find a good.
Like that's
nugget
a good.
Of,
that's a takeaway.
That's a takeaway right there.
When was the last time you had a nice bath?
1997. Easily. Not this. It's been a long.
Just after the Super Bowl.
Fucking time.
Yeah. No, I can't. I couldn't tell you the last time I had like a nut, like candle. You know, like really do it.
I can honestly say I have not had a bath yet in my 40s. Showers only. Fuck that, dude. I honestly couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy because I do think
I'm taking a bath. So
there is some kind of self-care going on in a bath that doesn't exist in a shower.
No, of course. You can't read a book in a shower.
No,
you can't do anything in a shower but bathe and fuck
and get out
and cry
and or sit, sulk.
Yeah,
but
sing.
The implication of a shower is that I need to wash myself, but I'm also busy. Whereas like a bath is like I've carved out a little time for me to personally have.
It's an interesting dichotomy because like the shower the things you can do in a shower aside from bathing are jerking off, fucking, crying, shouting, screaming, but then singing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then the things you can do in a bath are self-care, read, drink wine, watch TV, bubbles, relax, but also kill yourself.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow, yeah.
You just and bleed it out. So it's like,
yeah.
It's interesting because it just shows that in darkness there is light, and in lightness there is dark. In lightness.
That was something. That wasn't nothing.
It was a little bit of nothing.
I mean, but
in every nothing there's something.
There's something.
And in a lot of something
there's absolutely
shit.
Nothing. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think we end there.
I think the last word is don't be the kind of person that ends up having to drink their own piss.
And take a bath.
And then take a bath. There it is.
The hell.
Yeah.
That's right.